Have you ever felt hit by a switch? You know that feeling. 1 second, you're fine. Great day. Good vibes flowing. You feel peaceful, almost floating on air. And then, out of nowhere, someone says something. Or something happens. And suddenly, bam. The switch flips. You are completely underwater in rage. A burst of pure heat in your chest. Your face gets tight. Your heart starts pounding like a snare drum. It is instant. And it changes everything. We live in a culture addicted to the immediate, and nothing exposes us like that lightning-fast emotional whiplash. We react before we think. We deploy our worst words, throw the hardest accusations, and then, we feel sick. Leftover rage. The guilt hangs heavy in the air. And what do we learn from this? We learn to use anger as a weapon. We treat it like an emotional reset button. If I just blow off enough steam, I'll be fine. If I yell hard enough, the problem will go away. But let me tell you something today, anger is almost never the answer. It's often just the noise covering up a much deeper wound. The impulse to explode. That comes from fear. Fear of being misunderstood. Fear of powerlessness. Fear that what we are dealing with, the injustice, the betrayal, the constant frustration, will simply swallow us whole. We fight because we feel unsafe. But here is the radical truth I want you to grasp today. True strength does not come from how loud you can yell. It comes from how deeply you can breathe when everything around you wants you to scream. We talk about righteous anger, right? The justified outrage against injustice, against systemic failure, against cruelty. And yes, that fire is necessary. We have to be angry about things in this world that are fundamentally wrong. That passion has to exist. It's evidence of a heart that cares and sees what needs fixing. But let's bring it home for a minute. Let's talk about the battles fought right here, on these four walls, within the people we love most. These relationships, they are where the heat gets controlled. They are where the real growth happens. And they are also where our worst habits hide. We get angry at the people who know exactly which buttons to push. The ones we trust the most. We give them permission to hurt us because we are so comfortable with them, and that comfort breeds recklessness. Our anger becomes a language of intimacy, the only way we feel empowered to be heard. So how do we break this cycle? How do we stop being emotional puppets dancing to the tune of other people's triggers? We have to build a wall. Not a defensive wall, but a boundary wall. A psychological firewall between what happens to us and how we choose to react. The next time you feel that heat rising, that frantic pressure building behind your eyes, do not speak. Do not move. Stop everything. Right there. In the middle of the battle. Give yourself 3 seconds. Just 3 seconds. In those 3 seconds, ask yourself a simple question. Is this response coming from love, or is it coming from fear? Is this outburst trying to fix the problem, or is it just trying to prove that you feel something strong? Because when we choose pause over reaction, we are reclaiming our humanity. We are choosing mastery over mania. We are fundamentally wired for emotion. That's who we are. But the capacity for anger, for passion, for rage, that is not the final word on your character. Your ability to control that heat, to breathe through it, to choose silence instead of venom, that is where your true power lies. Don't let someone else hijack your soul. Do not surrender your internal peace just because another person failed to manage their emotions. Walk out today with this commitment. I will process my pain. I will stand up for justice when I see injustice. But when the storm hits at home, when the temperature spikes in a conversation, I will take control of my response. I will be patient. I will be disciplined. And through that deliberate act of self-control, I will finally find true freedom.